Just when you thought the Philadelphia 76ers season was starting to turn in a positive direction, the basketball gods said, nope, the Sixers are still cursed. Jared McCain, torn meniscus. Joel Embiid, sinus fracture. Caleb Martin, shoulder impingement. This sucks. You know what doesn't suck? This channel. And if you want year-round coverage of the 76ers, be sure to lock us in. Hit that subscribe button right now. We continue our pursuit toward 21,000 subscribers. We're 395 people away from reaching that number, so hit that sub button right now. That is our December goal, as we're already about halfway through this month. It keeps getting worse. Jared McCain, one of the lone bright spots for this team, has been playing well. The next making of Steph Curry. Hyperbolic, I know, but he was cooking on his way to becoming Rookie of the Year. Suffers a lateral meniscus tear in his left knee on Friday against the Pacers. Has to undergo surgery. He is out indefinitely. Now, in that game against Indiana, took a scary fall, looked to be concussed, but he cleared concussion protocol, returned to the game, and then he informed team staffers after the game of knee soreness. And an MRI revealed the worst. Meniscus tear. Is going to be out for a little while. Now, knowing the Sixers' injury history, even when there are injury timelines given out, it never ends up being true. Those players always end up being out for a longer period of time, and especially with a young player like this, are the Sixers going to go the cautious route, like they did with Joel Embiid, like they did with Ben Simmons, like they did with Markelle Fultz? Probably. Because they don't want this injury to resurface. They want to make sure that Jared McCain is going to be good to go because this kid has a lot of potential. So up to this point, everything that could go wrong has gone wrong for the Sixers. And you have to feel for Jared McCain. Having a phenomenal year, lasted until 16 in the first round of the NBA draft, had a couple of those great moments there when he went on that Jeremy Lin stretch. I don't think he's going to just go on that Linsanity run. I think that if he can stay healthy, he can end up being a great player. Iconic moment is when he hit that big three and said, I'm the Rookie of the Year. That was when Dalton Knecht of the Lakers was going off a little bit, and people were comparing the two. Knecht kind of has slowed down and cooled down. McCain has continued to play very well. 15 points per game this year in just under 26 minutes per, 46% from the field, 38% from three. The big question, how long will McCain be out? Nick Nurse told reporters there will be a clear timeline after surgery, likely next week. Could be 4 weeks, could be 4 months. What I'm so tired of hearing is the word timeline because of all of these Sixers injuries. Chip, you texted me right away. You said, I can't believe it. I said, dude, you got to be effing kidding me. It just sucks.
It's really unbelievable what happens with this team, man. Like, I'm just driving, getting ready to have dinner with my grandma. Just trying to, enjoy my Saturday. And here we go. Another massive injury for this team.
It's unbelievable.
Especially because it's like, they don't even know when it happened.
No.
Nurse said they don't even know when it happened in the game because he never injured the knee. He fell, hit his head, but he came back, and he finished the game. Like, it's just, this team just invents new ways to just get bad news and to have their seasons go down the drain. So, we'll see what the severity ends up being because that'll determine how long he's out, what kind of surgery he'll end up needing. Probably going to be at least a couple months, though. I doubt it's going to be best case scenario with this team. It seems to never be, but, man, it just sucks. Because now, he's going to miss time. He's not going to be able to win Rookie of the Year. He's going to miss too many games.
Yep.
Just, and how does this impact his development? Because, injuries at a young age like this, being a young player in the league, like, you just hope it doesn't get in the way of his long-term development. And he was just one of the few bright spots for this team that you really enjoyed. Every time you watch the Sixers, it's like, they got all this going on, at least I can watch Jared McCain. So, It stinks. And now with Embiid out as well, as we'll talk about, now once again, they're down to two of their stars. They just never have everybody together on the court. It's so frustrating, but praying for McCain obviously feels so bad for him. And hopefully he can get well soon and get back in the court because he was playing so well.
It's just impossible to win that way. When guys are in and out of the lineup, you have some of that extracurricular drama, and everybody's suffering different injuries. How are you supposed to work on camaraderie? How are you supposed to work on cohesion when you just don't know any given game who's going to play, who's going to be in the lineup, who's going to be out of the lineup? And Jared McCain was one of the reasons during what has been a very difficult and depressing year for that matter to turn on Sixers games every single night. So pray for Jared McCain. Hopefully he's able to come back from this injury and be all good and be even better than the player that he was before the injury. Type JM in the comment section. So still to come, we'll get to Joel Embiid's sinus fracture and then Caleb Martin with that shoulder impingement. We knew something was going on when he had that Markelle Fultz herky-jerky jump shot. We'll talk about that as well coming up just around the corner. But first, today's 76ers now, sponsored by our friends at Game Time. Holidays are coming up, and Game Time is focused on togetherness this holiday season. That means when you bring people together at live events, the experience is that much better, and it's the perfect gift. Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks. That makes getting tickets for live events even easier. Game Time Picks fills out all of the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats so that you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. They have flash deals and zone deals, so much to offer. I also suggest that you toggle the all-in pricing tool, which will show you the total up front with no surprise fees at checkout. You can see the view from your seat before you buy, so you know exactly what to expect when you arrive. And I love the Game Time lowest price guaranteed, or Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. If you're a Sixers fan, chances are you're an Eagles fan. Opportunity for the Birds to clinch the NFC East on the road against the Commanders. E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles. So download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code CHATSPORTS, CHATSPORTS, for $20 off. Terms apply. First purchase only. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. What time is it? Yeah, Game Time. As for the latest on Joel Embiid, this is a no, or as the kids are saying, doom. Joel Embiid suffering a sinus fracture on Friday against Indiana. He has been ruled out tonight against Charlotte. And then we got this right before the show from Shams Charania of ESPN that Joel Embiid, with that sinus fracture, will be reevaluated in 1 week. It's like something out of a movie. You just don't believe it to be true. It's one thing after another for this whole team and with the big man. Daryl Morey, signing him to a contract extension. A big, the size, injury history, over 30. Just never made any sense. Usually sinus fracture recovery, it's about 3 to 6 weeks. Joel Embiid could come back with that mask. As we know, when he played before with that Batman-like mask, he hated it. He wanted to take it off. He still played well in moments, but he's probably going to be rocking this once again. I feel bad for Nick Nurse at this point. It's like he can't even talk basketball when he has these press conferences. He's always having to talk about injuries. And from him and his standpoint, he's like, can we talk X's and O's? Well, Nick, we need to know about Jared McCain. Nick, we need to know about Paul George. Nick, we need to know about Tyrese Maxey. Nick, what's the latest on Joel Embiid? Here's what he said about Embiid. I think that's certainly a possibility. He's certainly done that before about wearing a mask, but I don't know that. Nobody's told me that. Yes, it's going to be a mask situation for sure. Nobody's told me that. I think it's really 50-50. Stats this year for Embiid, not good. I mean, against the Chicago Bulls, he looked awesome when he was the most dominant player on the floor. We got that for 1 game. Sixers then had that extended break, didn't play again until Friday. You're like, okay, that's going to serve Joel Embiid well. And then they're losing that game. Tyrese Halliburton is cooking, and Embiid gets hit in the face. This year, 20 points per game, under 8 boards. So the rebounding number is down, points per game numbers down, field goal numbers down, 3-point numbers down. And then there's more Sixers injuries. Kyle Lowry, back. He is good to go. But Caleb Martin with that shoulder impingement, he is out. And then Adem Bona, another young player showing some promise, also out. Latest on Caleb Martin. He has been playing through a right shoulder impingement. We kind of had an idea that something was going on because he's always had not the smoothest jump shot form, but it was even worse this year. Well, he's been playing through that shoulder impingement. Missed Friday's game against Indiana. Limited participant in practice on Sunday. Here's what Martin said about playing through that injury. I feel like I played through a lot of things, sometimes to a fault, to where I never want to put myself in a position to not better the team. Just having conversations with the team and the staff, they want me to also be at a place to where they know who I am and what I can be and what I typically do. So we've been on the same page with stuff, and they've been great helping me day by day to get back. And obviously, the shoulder issues to his shooting arm have resulted in bad field goal numbers, 40.5% from the deck and then 29% from three-point range. So, Chip, once again, we pivot to you. It's like we're doing the same show, every single show here, seemingly. My gosh.
It's always some injury we're talking about, and it always feels like it's Embiid's going to be reevaluated in X days. I feel like that's all we talk about, but it's just unbelievable. And this time he just gets hit in the face. It never ends with his injuries. Just whenever one thing starts to get better, boom, he gets hit in the face on a drive, and now he has this fracture in his face. And when I think about before the season, where we were and how excited we were for this
we were
team.
both saying, we haven't been this excited for a Sixers season maybe ever.
No. And it's one of the more disappointing starts to a season I can really ever remember. Now, the Sixers don't play again until Friday, but then they have a back-to-back Friday, Saturday. What are we doing, NBA? You're going to give us 4 days off and then make us play a back-to-back? Which doesn't make sense. But they don't play again until Friday. Obviously, Embiid's going to miss today's game, Monday night against the Hornets. He'll miss Friday, which is also against the Hornets. He'll miss Saturday, which is against the Cavs. And then I think they play the following Monday, so a week from today, against the Spurs. So he'll probably miss all those games. We'll see after that. I imagine he misses some more time after that. Probably going to miss the Christmas Day game against the Celtics. That might be a bloodbath on national TV. I don't know if I'm going to want to be watching that game on my Christmas. If obviously probably no Embiid, obviously no McCain, and who knows who else might be injured by then. But hopefully, when it comes to Caleb Martin, he can figure this out. We were watching the games and the couple watch parties, and just seeing him play. It's like his shot, as you said, Chase, was always a little weird, but it was never that weird.
Yeah.
Where he would shoot it, run down the court, and he'd be like, stretching out that shoulder. I'm glad he's at least, trying to take care of it at this point. Hopefully, it's something with this shoulder impingement they can fix, so we can get back to shooting the ball well, because he's shooting under 30% from three still on the year when he's usually around 35, 36. So for Caleb Martin, hopefully he gets better. I'd love to see Adam Bona get back out there because, with him being in and out of the lineup, he's actually looked pretty good.
Yeah.
So it sucks that he's going down. Lowry's back. I don't even want to see him on the floor. No offense to Kyle Lowry. But you know what? Now with McCain out, he's probably going to have to.
Yeah.
So, in all seriousness, you're probably going to now have to see Kyle Lowry, Reggie Jackson, and Eric Gordon, who Eric Gordon had fallen out of the rotation. He's probably going to have to be back in there now, and he's also been shooting horrific from three this year, so you're going to need him to get it going. Look, where the Sixers are at right now, McCain going down, Embiid going down, this is kind of it for me, in my opinion. This next stretch, over these next 2 weeks until the new year, they're sitting at, 7-15? Let me just confirm. 7-16 right now. If you can't get back up closer to 500 by the time the new year rolls around, you could be in serious trouble. And this team, they don't want to think about tanking. They don't want to prioritize trying to keep their pick. But, man, if you're still 10 games under 500 at the start of the new year, you might start thinking about trying to finish in the top 6 so you can keep that first-round pick.
Yeah, no doubt. Gosh, man, this stinks. I was looking forward to some good hoops. We've seen anything but that this year. And the times that we've seen good hoops, limited sample size. Hey, it might be sad, but we like to keep it real here on the show. If you're still rocking with us, give us a real one roll call. Thanks for tuning in. And don't forget to hit that sub button to stay in the know with all things Sixers.